From Las Vegas, the Entertainment Files. With Nick Lewin
Welcome back to the Entertainment Files, and it is both a pleasure and an honor to welcome an entertainment journalist from the Las Vegas Review-Journal and also author of the highly anticipated book, Cult Vegas. Thanks for being here, Mike. And I want to ask you, what is a cult? I mean, that's the first question.
I'm glad you guys are anticipating it. I know I have a
we're
an
anticipating
audience
it very
two.
much.
The word is out. Mike Weatherford,
The
Cult
word's going out,
Vegas.
yeah.
But there's a subtitle, isn't there?
The everything weird and wonderful about the swinginest place on earth.
So that's
Because,
cult. That's what it is. Everything weird and wonderful.
Yeah, cult gives me a little bit of
Leeway,
discrepancy
yeah.
to decide what I want to do, because I think there could be a definitive history of Las Vegas, but it hasn't been done yet, and I'm not going to be the guy that's going to try to do it. I want to just pick the things that interest me and use the cult thing to sort of narrow it down. There's never been a fun book about Vegas that you can
Cult
just
has the
walk
word
in.
fun, flavorful,
I hope
interesting,
so.
exactly.
It does now, and you're very well equipped to do this now. You're an entertainment journalist with the RJ, the Review Journal. And how long have you been covering Las Vegas entertainment?
10 years almost
10
to
years.
the
It's a long
week
time.
here. Yeah.
So you're seeing the new Las Vegas emerge. You've seen it from it going up here.
I have, and that's sort of what inspired me to do the book. I mean, a lot of the new Vegas is more spectacular than the things that are being torn down, but I think something's just missing. If you can imagine something being, on one hand, bigger and more spectacular, on the other hand, more ordinary, I think we're seeing a lot of these new places. They're almost like malls. I mean, they're like you almost anticipate the theme park aspects of them, and at the same time we have 45 years or so of Vegas being Vegas, and now it's all wants to be some Mediterranean resort and doesn't want to be Vegas anymore.
And there is a
That's
feeling
right.
coming back, not only in terms of Las Vegas, but you see the rise in the popularity of like the Rat Pack again, which I'm sure they'll be covered in your book. But they're back again. The music is back. They're cooler than ever.
Well, that's it. We've discussed lounge music, which has
Right.
become a major issue, and that is the music from that era. Was that a bit of an influence on you seeing that revival?
Absolutely. I was actually thinking about doing a book just on the lounge history, and I thought that might be a little too specific, but I have friends that are into that, and that's really what got the ball rolling on this. I think what I said before, I think, there's a new generation sort of missing something in this politically correct, sterile mall atmosphere, that they want to go back and they want to see what Vegas was like,
right.
and unfortunately there's nowhere to go. You can't even walk around the buildings of the Sands anymore and walk around the pool like you used to.
But you're going to give them a taste for it now. And who's publishing the book?
Huntington Press, the guys in town that did John L. Smith's book on Bob Stupak and the new book on the killing of Tupac Shakur. So,
But now they've come to you for the controversial book.
that's right.
They said, we want Weatherford for the... And when you say cult, I mean, what are the names? What's the number one cult name? I know what I'd guess. You tell me, though.
You think Elvis might
I
be
would
in
think
there?
Elvis
Yeah.
would
Elvis.
have to be there.
It's almost with Elvis and the Rat Pack. There almost been so many books about him that I don't want to dwell on them too much. That's why I'm trying to move into some of the people that equally cult but less written about, like one of your favorites, Esquivel.
Esquivel, the great Juan Esquivel, who performed here what year? That was the 60s?
He was here most of the 60s, from early 60s to right into 70 or 71, and most of the kids that are buying the space age bachelor music don't even know that he was a Vegas lounge act for 10 years.
That's
It's
right.
interesting. Nick and I were compiling some old footage for a project we were doing, a video compilation, and you look back through many decades, and the names I kept seeing again and again: Louis Prima, Sam Butera, Keely Smith, again and again.
They were the guys, and they didn't start that kind of lounge as a free-for-all, all-night party. The Mary Kay Trio was probably get the credit for opening the door, but Prima's the one that put it on the map and made the lounge as a genre as well as just a place.
Right.
It wasn't.
That's right. And I guess times have changed. That was the days when performers, they would do their show, they'd be finished at midnight, then they'd all go out and they'd catch one of these performers, and I guess the party went 24 hours a day then.
Yeah, and dealers and people that worked on the strip, there were no off-strip places, no locals places to go, and so they got off their shift, they went in the lounge and had Chinese food at the Sands at 5 in the morning. So, and watched the last set. So I'd like to think of it as being a bunch of drunks still hanging out all night. And I assume to some degree it was, but it's also weird to think of people in there eating breakfast at 5 in the morning watching a lounge act.
That was your alternate title, Drunk Vegas.
Yeah,
that
will be a common motif, I think. There'll be like a little through line of booze all the way through.
Who are some of the people who were the minor cults? I mean, we know that some of these people. Give us a couple of names of people that we can look out for.
Oh, yeah, I think I'd have to have Jane Mansfield in it, and when she lived in Vegas and painted her showroom pink at the dunes.
Oh,
and, oh boy. There's just little intersections all along the way of people that kind of creep in and out of town. That Vampira, the horror movie hostess who had a revival in the Ed Wood movie, was actually on the bill with Liberace in the 50s.
Oh, that is very interesting.
Good.
I didn't know that.
Bela Lugosi was here in the 50s.
What was he doing?
He was in the Silver Slippers review. It was sort of a saloon show burlesque.
You've got to
kind
be
of
kidding
thing.
me, really. That is amazing.
54, so.
You know, we have something else we do with every guest, Mike. We have to ask you your 5 favorite movies. If you were going to be trapped on a desert island and you had a VCR and 5 movies, what would they be? Just name them for
The desert
us.
island's a key pick because I'm not going to try to do film history or the most important
give us your
movies. The
5
ones
top
that I
ones.
watch over and over. Being the guy that has to cover the concerts, good and bad, at the Review Journal, Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap, that's a classic.
My colleague Mike Paskevich and I can find a Spinal Tap-ism for every occasion.
That's good. And now
have
the
to have
next one.
Spinal Tap. Oh, I talked to you about always having a James Bond movie in there for repeat value. You have to have Goldfinger in there just to watch.
That's a classic.
Yeah, see a class
3.
guy the way I dress. You have to.
Yeah, number 3. These are a good list.
I think Network, the movie, I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm not sure how well it dates, but
It still holds up.
It
Very
was a
powerful.
great movie. Peter Finch was wonderful.
when I was 15, I think that really kind of just opened the doors for me of how poetic language can be, even when it's profane.
And
And its
what a
statement
writer.
about the media is still just as
Oh, yeah,
profane
That's
today.
right. And we've got one more here.
or 1 or 2, I don't know.
Just one.
Okay. The Unforgiven, I think, was about the best I've seen
Clint
in
Eastwood.
recent years.
A
That
modern
was
day
great-
classic.
You know, we're running out of time. Unforgiven. I think it's unforgivable. We didn't have more
I
time.
know.
Mike Weatherford, Cult Vegas.
Thanks.
And thank you for being with us. We'll be back with more Entertainment File.